Okay, everyone, welcome to Grantham Physics 220 Week 3 for the lab. So this week we're going to work on something called the Atwood's machine. It involves a simulation, again, downloaded under the Physics 220 simulations, and it is atwoodmachine.ip. I want to go over this in detail because there are some initial conditions to work with. In the simulation, M1 is 1 kilogram and M2 is 1.1. And M2 rests on the floor that exerts a normal force on it. Okay? So you want to calculate what the normal force is when it's suspended. Now that's part of the lab. I'm not going to tell you that, but it's not maybe as just actually straightforward as you would. Again, as you would think. Again, refer to example 4-13 on page 88. So then you want to fill in the blank and then copy these into the lab answer sheet and then send them in accordingly. So this week I'm also going to go and look at what the lab answer sheet looks like, and notice it has the tension at a specific time and the normal force. So what I'd like to do now is go over and actually open this. So I've got my lab simulations folders up and ready to go. Click on Atwood's machine and this pulls it up. So again, kind of like the examples we used in week 1, if you can run this, you can see what happens as the ball rotates, and just sit here and look as the time progresses and then look for what's going on. At some point though, we are going to have to go back and look at what we want to look at in particular. So now that we've adjusted this so it can look at the specific times, we can start the run again. Actually, let me just reset. It'll probably make it a little bit easier. Let it run for a few seconds, and this is where we can adjust exactly where we want to go, down to 2.54 seconds. And you see the tension of the pulley system, which is basically about 9.8 newtons. The other thing we want to do here is then calculate the normal force and realize if this mass is sitting here and it's 1.1 and this mass is 1, this is pulling down with a certain force, and this has a gravitational force, or the normal force, or the gravitational force pulling down, but also a tension in the wire which is being given here. There is then a difference then between that tension and the force of gravity and the normal force, which you're going to then be able to calculate out. So you have a tension pulling up, a gravity pulling down, and the normal force is that difference that's going to also actually calculate what we're looking for this week. So then going from that point forward, you should be able to fill out the lab sheet, exactly what we're looking for, and then also calculate the normal force, and then you're basically done for the lab, and then you're going to submit it to the Dropbox for the week, as you do every week. And again, a reminder, you need to submit these for every week they're due so that the instructor can keep a nice planning track of where you are in the class.